Hello everyone, this is Bobbin Threadbare and welcome back to the Dark Mod. Now, you may be able to tell from the title there already, but today we are going to finish up the Thomas Porter series and put an end to the Lich Queen. Now I know this is a little bit early, with 2 full chapters of the 4th left to go, but that's because I'm saving the best Dark Mod map for last, and I'm going to need a little extra room in which to present it. But in the meantime, the Lich Queen's demise is the best part of the Thomas Porter series, something we are going to prove very shortly.
The blood-red sunset demands that one life ends tonight. Ever after the Glenham Tower incident, the Lich Queen has attacked me several times. Thus far, I've managed to best her in combat, but unfortunately, death means nothing to her, and she keeps returning to me with her murderous intentions. Initially, I did not understand why she keeps attacking me, but unlocking the secrets of the book I stole from her made me realize that she fears me, for I have the key to her demise. According to the book, there exists a ritual or a spell that would break her bond to this realm. If I was to conduct this ritual and then kill the Lich Queen, she could not return anymore. She would die like a common mortal. The information, written by an insane alchemist, is sketchy at best, but it seems each ritual is unique to the caster. I believe a discreet and stealthy approach would allow me to learn the Queen's secrets and use them against her. So here I am, at the doorstep of the Lich Queen's lair, a derelict castle located in the mountains east of Glenham. I must find her notes and use them to reverse the spell protecting her. Once she is vulnerable, I should be able to finally destroy her. I've cashed in all my previous spoils in order to equip myself to the best of my ability. She may very well be expecting me, so I have to be extremely careful. One of us must perish tonight, and I intend to make sure it is her.
That's right, a fully voiced introduction. And, 0 difference in difficulties. Well, except for how much money you get on the equipment screen. And once again, we are able to load for bear with twice as much gold as normal. Rope arrows just to be safe, of course. And fire arrows are cheaper than explosive mines, and on this map you only need 1 fire arrow to take out one of the things that aren't hammer haunts, revenants. Anyway, also a little holy water, just in case that comes in handy. And, yeah, it's not much, but every little bit helps. And here's another new thing. We are not attacking at night. It is sunset, which is a much more dynamic and interesting time of day, if you ask me. Also, it helps that because of the angle of everything, the sun will actually be a non-factor for most of the mission, which, you know, also helps. Good to have it there, good to have it not be in the way, you know. But speaking of in the way, Looks like we already have to worry about a zombie. And although this was not on the inventory screen, we do have a very detailed map of all 3 floors. First, second, and the caves underground. There are also a lot of light sources on this map, so I am not going to waste water arrows unless I have to. And you may recall from the last of the Thomas Porter maps that enemies now have the ability to relight fiery light sources. This is a little awkward, but thankfully there are these boxes here, and I think they were placed here specifically so that you could potentially, you know, avoid getting trapped horribly between zombies. Because there are enough of them around that you could get trapped. And that's actually another thing, is that there are a lot of undead on this map, and so I do not want to waste any of my undead killing equipment on zombies. Especially because zombies are the least of my problems. Yes, the exterior is guarded with zombies, but the interior, on the other hand, is guarded by a lot of something worse. I mean, come on. The zombie was looking right at me and it didn't see me. These things are really not that good at spying intruders. Thank goodness for that, right? Not sure if you would call this a barn or a stable. I'm leaning more towards barn myself. But there is a reason to come in here. A minor reason, but, you know, loot is loot.
I think I'll have more use to these valuables than those undead monsters.
I believe you mean more use of this loot, not to this loot. But yeah, it's, the voicing does not stop with the introduction. We are going to be hearing Thomas Porter throughout this entire game. Speaking of hearing things, I think that made a little too much noise there, just now. Or maybe not. Maybe he's just checking one of the stable things. Well, anyway. I will say this about the voice of Thomas Porter. For being entirely amateur, it's not that bad. I mean, objectively speaking, it's not terribly good, but since I keep voicing the introductions for these maps myself, I don't really think I've got any room to complain. Yep. 2 revenants. Just standing right there, guarding the front door. Luckily, there's a way around them. Although I do need to, you know, put out the light on my way over. Make sure the zombie can't bump into me. I believe one of those revenants never actually moves, so going through the front door is not the best idea. Especially because of some additional feature about the revenants that's specific to this map. Which, well, well, let's not beat around the bush. The revenants on this map cannot die. Not forever. You can kill them for a short time. They will always return eventually. And so, actually, it gives them a lot in common with the fires on this map, the torches and lamps. And oh yes, how could I forget? Sotha always loves putting those little curly cues in the patrol paths just to screw with the player. I'd almost forgotten about those. Thankfully, that zombie reminded me. And unfortunately, it does not look like there is anything hidden in the river. Also, unfortunately, this whole cave system is very well lit. And as you can tell, there are also a lot of zombies patrolling it. They actually have very long patrol paths, too. You know, one big distinction I've noticed... Oh, hello. Nice of you to turn around so suddenly. But one interesting distinction I've noticed between Theforth and the Dark mod is that in Theforth, the vision cone is based on which direction the body of the guard is facing. But in the Dark mod, it's based on the direction the head is facing. So that means that in the Dark mod, if they look to their left and then to their right, the vision cone will snap around. Whereas in Theforth, if the guard is looking around, it doesn't actually matter because he will only see what is directly in front of him. I can actually read these if you look closely enough. There doesn't actually seem to be anything here except for that one oddly conspicuous mushroom. And we'll actually be needing that for later. And it is nice that you can gather it ahead of time. First time I played this map, I didn't actually realize that you needed to gather stuff like that. I was just checking if there's anything in there, but it doesn't look like there is. But yes, as I was saying, it's nice that they let you pick up those things ahead of time, because it saves time. First time I did this map, I didn't know I needed, a mushroom, so I had to go back for it later. Made things a little more tense, I can say that much, but on the other hand, when I'm presenting this for an audience, it is good to save some time.
What should we do, brother?
another new feature. Fully voiced conversations. Now, I figure you might not have completely heard what they were saying. I mean, I think one of those guys was actually breathing in to say his lines. But the idea is that these revenants here are being subjugated to the Lich Queen's will. It is not... They are not willing members of her army. Which makes sense, seeing as she was some sort of pagan or witch that they killed, burned at the stake. And here she is, raising a bunch of builder apostates to be in her army. Well, anyway, the door on the left leads to the front door. Let's take care of this lamp here. A lot of dead bodies around here, a lot of skeletons in particular, and oh my. Looks like the dining room's got a very nice hell flame going on. Also a lot of revenants walking around, but that's nothing new. Why did that guy just leave the door open? Rude. Coming back. Gotta be careful here. Might be able to hide in this corner on these boxes here. Which is good, because it looks like he was investigating the sound I made. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't look like there was anything valuable left behind around here. So it's just a matter of crossing very carefully.
The curtains lifted and slavery will end. The Mithrid will...
Well, there's definitely a revenant on the other side of this hallway. Oh, come on. Oh, maybe I'll get lucky. Looks like it was the cook who was complaining. Looks like I can stay in the dark if I stick to this shelves here. Also, I'll need some garlic for later. Put out this candle while there's no one around. They don't always relight every light that you can put out, although they can restore some of them. Doesn't look like there's anything hidden behind those boxes or barrels. And before I actually check out the second floor, I'm going to check out the tower here. There's actually something up here I want. This is not the Moon Diary. It's not even that interesting, really. No, it's the slow matches here. They are also going to come in handy. Oh, Cook's complaining again. Yeah, real trouble is that it's hard to tell what floor sounds are coming from sometimes. Looks like they keep messing with portraits and paintings around here. I remember that from the Glen Ham Tower. Ah, crap. This must be the library. Aha! Lich Queen's diary.
The place is a bit ramshackle, but I think it fits her style quite well.
Let's have a read. Ah, the Lich Queen has apparently...
I wonder what it takes to make someone so utterly evil. Looks like I have to do some witchcraft before I can truly harm the Lich Queen.
Yes, well, essentially what's happened is that the Lich Queen has stolen the body of a mortal in order to, you know, not appear as a flaming skeleton anymore. Uh-oh. Well, speak of the devil. Here's the lady herself. If you look closely, she's got this sort of texture that looks sort of like,
I need a good strong ale if I'm going to... I guess I'll have to light it.
Damn it. But yeah, she's got this texture on her face. I guess the idea is that she's, you know, kind of rotting away. And she was complaining about that in her diary.
Is somebody there?
But, I don't know, to me it actually looks kind of like textured marble, more than a rotting body. I figure, you know, hopefully no one's going to relight the fireplace. But yeah, the thing is that if I try and kill the Lich Queen now, it's not going to help very much. She'll just reappear a little later. That guy's looking in my direction. Not very helpful. But according to the diary, there's a particular... Uh-oh. There's a particular ritual she used in order to possess the body she is in now. And if I can perform that ritual again, then that will make her vulnerable. Her soul will be able to leave this mortal plane. And by the way, that leads to the stairs down, which is why I'm not going through it. That and the one revenant who's standing there watching me. In fact, the second floor hallway, just in general, is rather crowded. Not a good place to linger, sadly. And of course, since the undead here can relight the lights, that just adds another dimension to the problems I've got. I can at least put out the candle every now and again. Well, except that there's another problem, which is the fact that, yeah, putting out the candle attracts the revenants. Although that can be used to my advantage, if I handle things correctly. In the meantime, I wanted to check out what's behind... Ah, damn it, they locked it. I hate it when that happens. Got the Revenant's attention again here. Well, hello. Even more people coming through now. Please tell me the door isn't locked again. Thank goodness. That was a little dangerous there, but... it's a very good reason to get into this room, which you may have already noticed. Lots of water arrows, and lots of fire arrows, and a mine. So, you know, even if you come into this map completely unarmed, aside from the basic stuff, I mean, you can still get rid of a few revenants and such that might be in your way. And anyway, the cones of vision are actually very long, so that guy way down the hallway there could probably spot me if I go out to the candlelight. Luckily there aren't any static... Luckily there aren't any static guards on the second floor here. I mean, there's one guy who likes to stand at the base of the second story, of the main staircase to the second floor, I mean. So that's about it for interior guards. In the meantime, putting that light out has attracted that revenant, which has actually given me the ability to sneak past him. Of course, I also made a little too much noise on those crates. But it looks like it wasn't quite enough for him to care. In the meantime, let's have a look in what's apparently the bathroom. Also, I haven't really mentioned it before, but I do appreciate that the one-touch candles are back from the last Sotha mission. Also, that was a bottle of blood. This will also prove necessary later on. Oh dear. Now there's two of them watching me. This might take a while.